So right now, ladies or gentlemen, I want you guys to grab your wine, your coffee, your White Claw. I don't care what you gotta grab. I just want to give you guys a little tea about what's been going on in my life and why I went radio silent for the past few months. First, I just want to thank you guys so much for showing my moving to Houston vlog so much love, okay? That is my highest viewed vlog to date. And that actually blew up out of nowhere because when I uploaded that vlog, it said like 200 and something views, and then a few days later it was like in the 1,000. I got over 100 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you guys so much, and you guys are funny as hell in the comments, okay? One of the ladies was like, oh girl, I had to look at my calendar because it says September 2023. I was like, oh, the shade, okay? But I just wanted to put out the vlog of me moving to Houston. That way, when I start vlogging and I just popped up in Houston from living in New York, I didn't want it to be like, what the hell is going on, okay? And it's still, what the hell is going on, you know? Your girl has been going through it, guys. When I tell you, ever since I moved to Houston, I've been battling depression, and this transition for me has been one of the most difficult transitions for me in my adulthood. And I just turned 36, so that's saying a lot. It's been a hard year, and when I say year, I'm not talking about January through July. I'm talking about, for me, summer 2023 to up until this moment right here. Just to give you guys some background, last summer I literally had an opportunity to work at a new company, and the sole reason why I decided to join was because I was afraid that when I moved back to Houston that my previous company was going to let me go. They never said anything. However, I would have been one of 5 remote employees, right? And when it comes time to cut costs and deal with salaries, I probably would have been on the chopping block. So when I took this new opportunity, I took it solely because I knew that I can move back to Houston, right? The company I was with was phenomenal. Love the company, love the culture, love the people. When I joined the company that I'm with now, I really had a hard time accepting the shift that occurred because, again, I was comfortable. Nothing was happening. Nobody said, oh, you're gonna get fired, anything. I think I shifted out of fear. In the middle of this going on, I was like, okay, I'm moving back to Houston. I'm at a new company. And just to be even more transparent with you guys, spring of 2023, mentally, I was like telling myself, like, Traci, why do you really want to move back home? What's waiting for you there? Because you guys would have thought I had a man that was like calling my name here, or something big was gonna happen, right? Because literally, I just woke up. I was like, okay, I did the New York thing. Like, I want to go back. Literally, that's how I woke up one day, and one of my best friends, she was like, I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should do it. I was like, girl, stop being a hater. You can come visit. But she was like, do you know why you want to move home? And I could never really give her an answer, right? I started like telling everybody, look, I'm moving back. This is going to be my last year in New York, like deuces. Nothing was happening, right? I woke up and I think I was bored, and I was like, okay, I'm finna shake some shit up. I'm finna move. And when I did that, I was like, okay, what did I do? You know, mentally, I started like having those doubts, right? Like, okay, Traci, why are you really moving? Like, you're comfortable in New York. You finally started finding your jive. Like, you got a good routine. You got a support system for your dog, Duke. Like, I started telling myself, like, just be still. And I think because, well, it's not I think, I know because I had already shared with everyone that I was moving, it sort of felt like everybody was waiting for it, right? People was like, oh, what's the update on the move? Or, like, did you find your place yet? And at that last summer, I was back and forth between Houston and New York a lot. So my sister was graduating nursing school. I was just coming out here more just to be here. And I was like trying to get used to being back in Houston, right? So even though I started telling myself like, Traci, do you really want to do this? Because I felt like I had already put it out there, and I took a new position solely based off the fact that I can be back in Houston. I started changing my life, right? I started becoming very uncomfortable. I felt like because I had already put in my notice to vacate my apartment, I had switched companies. I was like, okay, you gotta go all in. You gotta do it now. You know, that's sort of the position I sort of was in. But when I tell you guys that July 2023 whooped my ass, when I say it dragged my ass down the hall, it did, okay? Anything that could have happened in July of 2023 occurred. I was stressed out about, I was trying to learn this new industry that I'm in, and me and my sister was throwing my mom her 60th birthday party. My damn car got booted and towed by the city, okay? And then when I got it, my alternator went out. At the same time that was happening, I found my apartment here in Houston. I was having to put money down for that. It was just a lot. Like financially, I took a hit. With all the changes, it was like, okay, you're in this new position. You're trying to learn this job. You're traveling back to Houston now. It's your mom's birthday. It's your sister's pinning ceremony. Now all of a sudden you got issues with a car that has never gave you issues before. I was just under a lot of stress, and I was like, I was thinking, oh, the devil, the enemy doesn't want to see me win. Like I'm getting ready to change my life, and he's a damn hater, you know? And that is something that is very well could be true. But I think in hindsight, God was like nudging me a little bit, you know, like, hey, slow down. You're doing too much. Go sit down, you know? August come around, more stuff popped up, okay? I moved in September. I got a call that my mom was rushed to the hospital. My sister was like, Traci, like, I don't know. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, because my mom has always dealt with health problems, but it's hard to say, but it's like if you're used to dealing with that, you don't really think that it can get as bad, right? So literally the week before I was moving, my mom went into the hospital. My sister was calling me. She was like, Traci, like, I don't know. And at this time, I was going through it now physically because my stomach started giving me issues. I was going to the doctor. We couldn't figure out what was going on with me. I couldn't keep food down. It was really bad, guys. Like, the way that I internalize stress is very dangerous. I remember when I first moved to New York, like the stress of trying to learn the trains and just the adjustment to everything, I broke out in shingles on my back. The doctor told me, he was like, hey, you may not know how stressed out you are, but your body is gonna tell you. So last summer, I couldn't figure out what was going on with my stomach. I was like having cramps. I couldn't keep food down. My doctor was like, anything that's a stressor, you need to remove it. You need to try to isolate the problem. And I was like, it's happening all around. I don't know which one to, like, I don't know, you know? So my mom went into the hospital, guys, and I was telling my sister, I was like, look, what do I do? Like, because I have to be out of this unit. But it was to the point where I was driving my own shit down from New York. I was driving the budget truck you guys saw in the moving vlog, right? Like, I don't know how I'll be able to go down there, come back, move my stuff. It was just a lot. Mom started recovering. She was like taken out of ICU. And so my sister was like, okay, just stick to your moving plans and you know, come next week in a few days when you're supposed to move. So I was like, okay. So all of a sudden, literally the week of my move, I left New York. I started driving out on a Thursday, I think. Literally the week of my move, the moving company I had was like, hey, we double booked. We can no longer do this move. So I started freaking out. I was like, guys, like, what is happening? You know, what was so unique about my move is, like I said, I was driving my own van. So it wasn't a company that was gonna, you know, take my furniture or the stuff I was keeping and put it on their truck and bring it here. It was literally, they was just like loading up the U-Hauls for me to drive. So to them, they felt like, okay, that's not a lot of money that we can make, so we gonna drop you, right? So then I got on TaskRabbit, hired a mover. The day before my move, he quit. So my neighbor was rushing. She was like, okay, I know somebody that knows somebody, he can help. And y'all seen in the moving vlog, homeboy quit when he saw the shit in the hallway because he got into it with the neighbor. So I was like, what the fuck? At this point, it was me, the porter in the building, and my neighbor that loaded that shit on a U-Haul. We got it up there. Keena came later on that day, and I started driving to Houston. So when I tell you guys I moved here stressed out, I was under so much stress, okay? When I got here was like, I felt the final like couple of punches. I did not have the luxury of easing into being back home, right? For a few reasons, it was just that, you know, it was a lot of family things that was going on, and I was immediately like just thrown into the mix of things. So I wasn't able to just like, okay, I'm back, this is what it looks like. It was like, okay, you're back, boom, 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 right? I have always been the person that is always available to my friends. When you need a laugh, you can call me, I'll bring us some shit, we can talk about it until you stop having a bad day, we hang up the phone. And with a lot of my close friends, or I would say people who are really in my inner circle, I'm always available, because them heifers, they just bypass my do not disturb. This was the first time that I just told everyone like, hey, I need a minute, or hey, I'm not in a position to lift you up right now. I'm going through some things. Let me get out of my funk and I'll circle back with you when I can. And I felt like a lot of people wanted to be the exception to that rule. Like, oh, okay, you must be talking about somebody else, so boom. And I just felt like I was constantly tried on a friendship level. Over this past year, a lot of things in my life shifted. It was losing some friendships, right? Because you don't necessarily know that things are a problem until you can really be tested for real, right? When it came to my friendships, I really felt like, okay, I was in a position where I've cleared all the bad eggs out. And I just want to reiterate that nobody fought or did any of that crazy shit. It was just like, this was a really hard time for me, and I just really needed space. I can't be overly available. I can't entertain a temper tantrum right now. I don't have the energy for it. Like, I'm barely getting up in the mornings and getting through the day like as I can, and I just can't give you that extra energy right now. When that was going on, some of my friendships fell to the side. Do I miss people? Yes. However, it still hurt, when you are dealing with a lot of change and you are in a season of your life where you're not really sure if you're making the right decisions anymore, or you're looking at your life. And like I said, I'm getting older. I'm 36 now, and I'm seeing like, okay, this is where I am in life compared to my peers. I'm not saying that I want to be ahead of everybody, but I damn sure don't want to be in the back. So I'm looking at it, okay, where do I fall? Okay, because if I'm anywhere lower than the middle, that bitch, you need to work harder, So that is basically stuff that's been going on. I didn't realize it was really bad until, like I said, I got here, and it's just started being really difficult for me to get up. Literally the only reason why I was getting up in the morning is because my dog needed to be walked. I would get back in bed, or I was calling in. I was like, hey, I'm not feeling good. And I wasn't. Sometimes I would just sleep for 2 and 3 days at a time. It was bad, guys, I'll tell you what really opened up my mind, right? So I went to the doctor. I went to my OB Funny story. I went to my OB, and my old OB is no longer with the practice. So I go to the doctor for my annual. I just said, okay, give me whoever is available, right? So mind you guys, I wasn't doing anything. My legs was hairy. I just was not keeping up with myself, right? So I'm in the thing, you know, you have like the little gowns with the slit down the front, so you're exposed and everything. So I'm just sitting there, and I was literally, it was on a bad day. I think I did go to work I work remote, but it was like I did log on for work, but it was like a lot of things kept happening, and I'm better now, but at the time, any little thing was setting me off. And I was like, fuck it, I'm logging off until I go to the doctor. And I had a gray jogger set. Remember that. So I'm in the doctor, I'm waiting for her to come in, and she knocked on the door, and when I tell you, it's this short Asian lady. She was just, she walked in the room, and her aura was just so bright. It was just so bright. And oh my gosh, I'm not gonna tear up. But she walked in the room, and she was just so little, like I barely saw her come through like the little, you know, the little the little shade little thing. And she was like, hi. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, she is so happy, you know? And she was like, how are you? And when I tell you guys, I'm about to cry now. I'm such a punk. When I tell you, when she asked me, how are you? I told her the fucking truth. I told her the truth. I started crying, and literally I'm having an outer body experience because she's like, how are you? And I just started crying. So I don't like it here. I think she thought I was talking about their practice, but I was talking about being back in Houston, right? And so she was like, what's wrong? And she's coming. When I tell you, the girl is so tiny. She was so, and I'm only 5'3", but she was so tiny. So she comes up to the bed, and she starts like rubbing my thigh, right? So I'm crying. I'm telling her why I'm unhappy. And then in the back of my mind, while all this is going on, I'm like, bitch, you need to shave your fucking legs, you know? So it was just a lot, right? So I'm boo-hooing. I'm talking about, I'm bawling. Snot is coming through my nose, because when I cry, oh, it's going down. I'll give you a show, okay? I'm crying, and I was like, you know, I'm just not happy here. I was like, I don't know why I moved. I really didn't want to move, but I told everybody. So I'm telling her all my damn business, y'all. I was like, she about to be up inside me anyway with these tools, so I might as well give, you know? So I'm over here crying to her, and I'm like, you know, I'm just so unhappy. And I was like, I just want to go back. And she said, honey, she was so sweet. She was like, honey, you can always go back. And it never fucking dawned on me that I can move back. It never dawned on me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you are so right. But when she said it, it was like, it never hit me that I can move the fuck back. But she was like, you know, she was like, what if this time for you to be back home was to slow things down and just work on you? She was like, you know, sometimes in the city, things move really fast. And she was like, maybe you just needed some quiet time and didn't realize it. And at this point, she's sitting in her little stool. She's rolled up to me, and she's like swooshing back and forth talking to me. And I just, in my mind, I'm still crying, but while she was talking to me, I started getting calm, but also I'm like, I need a shave. And then I was like, bitch, if you don't get your shit together, she's gonna have you like checked into the psych ward. This is a true fucking story. It took me that happened for the first 15 minutes while she was in there, and I was their last appointment of the day. And I know she was irritated and wanted to go home, but I think that she knew that I needed that in that moment. I calmed myself down. We did my annual. We did my annual, And so I was like, okay. So literally, she said some of the nicest things, right? She was really just giving me some advice, and it was like very unbiased, you know. We bonded immediately. She said it happens to her all the time, and to me, I'm like, who the fuck is coming up here crying besides me, you know? I walked out, the nurse stopped me. She was like, hey, Traci, you know, when you checked in, we never did get you a sample. We need you to pee in the cup. Can you fill it up? And I'm like, bitch, no, you know? So I go in the bathroom, y'all. Trying to I'm like, okay, let me just pee. Let me see if I can give them something, right? If to know me, and to all of my new subscribers that's here, sorry, I'm trying to hide my hair. I'm trying to tuck it in. It's trying to make an appearance. To know me, I don't do public restrooms, okay? I will hold my pee. I would drive all the way home to use the restroom before I pee in a public place, right? So for me to pee in the cup, it takes a while. So I'm like, okay, Traci, like, pee. I don't know if this has ever happened to any one of you ladies, but when I peed, my pee came out kind of slant. It didn't go straight. It went like slant. I missed the entire fucking sippy cup. Guys, I peed all over the back of my joggers, okay? And I had a gray jogging set, like a hoodie and sweatpants. I was pissed. I started crying again in the fucking bathroom, okay? I caught some of it, and I was like, they just gonna have to work with it. I'm not pregnant. Just let me know if I got a UTI or something, right? So I started crying again. So at this point, I'm taking paper towels with hand soap, and I'm trying to make a lather to like squeeze out my pants, right? So all I did was make the spread bigger. Guys, it was a lot, you know? I made the spread bigger. And at this point, I'm like, okay, bitch, you just need to like just go home. I'm the last one here. Traci, just walk out. So I take another bunch of like paper towels, and I try to like dry my sweatpants, right? So dry the sweatpants, throw it out, and then I was like, okay, put back on the sweatpants. It's not dry, but you know, whatever. So I was like, okay. So y'all, I opened up the door to the bathroom. All of the nurses was like at the desk, like I guess like charting and stuff, getting ready to like end the day. So I was like, Traci, they're gonna laugh at you. So I get out the bathroom. I turned the opposite way, so I start trying to walk really fast. This checkout bitch, Traci, when you want to make your next appointment? So just all loud, y'all. So I stopped. I was like, she said if anything comes up, you guys will call me. I don't need to make another appointment. But like, I was like, bitch, you trying to be funny? Cause I'm trying to rush out now, right? Y'all, I ran the hell up out of that clinic. I run to the car and I cry in the car. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like she made me feel better, and then I peed on myself. I was just so fucking frustrated. Anyway, guys, long story short, on the way home, I stopped and I bought a razor, okay? And I was like, okay, tonight is the night I'm gonna shave my legs and my underarms. You know, I'm gonna do something, because I can't be embarrassed if I see my doctor lady on the street, right? Y'all, why? I shaved that night. I slept for 2 days. I called into work 2 days because it took that much out of me. It's like the smallest task was like, anything was just like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I had some down days, and there was no way that I'll be able to like put the camera in my face, be like, yeah, I have depression today. I really had to like really think about some of the decisions that I made, sit in those decisions that I made, and really grasp like, okay, Traci, you really moved back. Okay, you're here now. What do you want to do with it, right? And I would say for the past 2 months, this is the most lighter in my spirits that I've ever been. I don't have to really think about, okay, Traci, it has to be a good day. Like, I'm not in my head so much. I'm really like waking up, I'm doing my devotional, or I'm listening to like my affirmations, I'm going on a walk. I'm in such a better mental space lately that I was like, okay, like I'm ready to find my groove again. Okay, so that's where I've been, guys. I've been here now for 9 months. So your girl's been going through it for 7 out of the 9, but like I said, I am okay now with the decision that I made. I know that my decision does not have to be permanent, and whatever steps I take to either move back or stay here, I'm just willing to make the most of the time that I have here. I just wanted to be as transparent as I can, and to encourage some of you, because I know, like, as women, there's a lot of like hats that we have to wear. We have to be a mom, we have to be a wife, a girlfriend, a bad bitch, a yoga instructor, you know, a fur mom. It's just we have to like be where we are, like in our careers. We have to be respected in the room with men. We go through so much, and I just wanted to let you guys know, like, if you made a decision, it is okay if you change your mind. I was so afraid to let people know that I changed my mind, that I kept pushing it, and I was just hurting myself, and motherfuckers didn't care, because like my girls, they'll be like, Tracy, you should have just said you didn't want to move no more. Like, you know, we didn't want your ass to move in the first place. So and again, it's like I said, so many decisions at the time was based on literally me waking up and be like, oh, I'm about to move, you know. And also, this was a huge lesson for me to not talk about things prematurely. It's okay to keep things for yourself. And when I say that this year has taught me that everything that is either good nor bad does not have to be shared with everybody, or no one at all, right? There's things that happen within this year that nobody knows about. There's things that that was good, that when I told certain people, the reaction I got, I was like, well, that was random, you know? And now I'm looking at you funny, bitch. It's a lot. And it's like, it's okay as women if we keep things to ourselves. The truth is, it's not necessary that we can't trust other people, but it's like sometimes when we speak things, we have to be cognizant that both God and the enemy hears it at the same time. And somebody could be working for the enemy on his behalf and don't even know that they're being used. You feel me? Look, I just wanted to give you guys a little chit chat, a little life update about what's been going on, but I'm back. There are some things that I am looking forward to, that I'm excited about. The days that, like I said, I had energy, I was going to Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, finding whatever I could for my place. I did start posting on TikTok a little bit, you know. Check your girl out. But literally, it's just me cleaning or showing you guys like what I got in my apartment and where I put it. I'm taking a break from decorating my apartment because honestly, right now, I don't know where life is going to take me. I'm so blessed in my life that it's only me. I don't have any children that are depending on me. I don't have anyone in my life that I have to consider if I want to make a decision. It's just me and my dog that walks on 4 legs. For all of my new supporters that are following along with me on my journey now, I just want to say thank you. Go back, watch my old videos just so you can see some of the key players in my life, because they will pop up again this summer. That way you can just know more about me. Again, thank you guys for all my new supporters that are following with me now. Thank you guys so much. I will be uploading my vlogs weekly. I am on TikTok at Traci Amina. I am back on Instagram. I had my account deactivated, but I'm back. So Traci Amina on Instagram as well. So until the next vlog, thank you for supporting me, and I love all of you guys. Bye.